Right, good afternoon. We've got Jordan Clark with us, the Director of Football and Education. How are you, Jordan?
Good, Gal. How are you, mate?
Very well, thank you. Another lovely day out there.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, a bit cold.
A bit chilly, yeah. But we haven't spoken for a few months now, so that's nice to have a little catch up and see what's been going on. So, how has the first half of the academic year panned out for you and your
So yeah, it's been way too long, really. But obviously, with everything going on, it's been hard to sort of nail down the time. But no, the academic year started really well. We're obviously coming up to the halfway point now. So yeah, it's been really good. We had, obviously, probably people remember, we had a couple of changes staff-wise.
That's right.
So we got a couple of new tutors in, Hannah and Ben, who have been excellent, from VO UK, who are obviously our education partner for our BTEC programme. And then, they've hit the ground running, really. We've had, really good results. The learners have taken to them really well. Obviously, we've got the new first years who, they won't mind me saying, the last 2 years of education have been a very difficult period for them with COVID. So coming into, luckily enough, we've been able to have no lockdowns or anything like that, no circuit breakers. So we've had a sort of full steam ahead, a full programme, and they've really benefited from that. I think it's probably the most growth I've seen in a year group in 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, in that 6 month period, they went from being, a little bit erratic,
yes, probably
from their school time, from obviously it being a bit up and down, to really sort of getting, like now, they've got their head around it, and, the girls and the boys are doing really, really well, and that's showing in results both on and off the pitch, so it's good.
Well, they have to adjust as well, don't they? Coming from school environment to if you want to call it a college or an academy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's completely different. So our purpose here is to set people up for the next step. So schools, you've got primary school, they get them for 5-6 years, secondary school 5-6 years. Here we only get 2 years with them. If they want to stay on with us maybe for another year, we might get 3 or 4, but normally we get 2 years with them. So us trying to fit in, which is at a key stage in their life, going from being young, probably kids for want of a better phrase, then going into being adolescents, adults, 18 years of age when they leave us. So we're really working with them to become, adults in their own right.
Cool.
So they come to us, they don't call us Mr. Clark, or we treat them with a respect, like, there's that line of authority, but we're trying to teach them that you've got going into the big wide world. So yeah, it is a massive effort and change for them to come into this environment, but we try and make it as seamless as possible and support them in every way, so it's good.
The two people you were saying, are they just teachers?
Yeah.
They don't do nothing on the football pitch?
No,
they're just teachers?
They're just teachers, yeah, so they're just the educators, yeah. So we, obviously before we had a little bit more of joint roles, so we had like Josh and Kat and Gav who sort of did coaching and teaching.
Right.
And then obviously we're getting so big now.
Yes.
The roles became a little bit overwhelming and stuff like that, so we're now opening it up so that we've got designated teachers, designated coaches, so the learners get the support that they need in the right areas.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
And the people turning the students, how many students have you got? More, or is it the same number all the time?
Yeah, so we're working at the moment around 70 students on our BTEC programme. We've got 5 or 6 on the HNC, HND programme. So we're working at around the 80 mark plus. We've obviously got loads of partnerships with local schools as well.
Yeah.
So we're working with their students as well now. So yeah, it's growing all the time. And obviously the pandemic sort of stopped a lot of recruitment because we were having to do virtual and stuff like that. But this year alone, looking ahead to next academic year, and we'll come on to this in a little while, but we've already got large numbers for that time, yeah.
So can you have the numbers can be as many as you want?
Yeah, so we want quality over quantity. That's our first and foremost, because obviously the support that we need to give these learners is the main thing, and the quality of that. Yes, we want to expand and impact more, but obviously everything has a ceiling. So what we've done this year is we've worked really tirelessly to engage with local partners, Ashcombe, Donotta, Priory, and open up and expand our working framework so that we can, entertain more learners. So yeah, we're going to probably next year we'll be looking at circa 120 to 130 learners, but within our capabilities, that is, know.
Do we have to expand any, like classroom wise?
Yeah, so that's why we're now working with Ashcombe
These are new sponsors. Right? We might as well talk about them. Are these your new sponsors? That
So they're our new partners. New partners. So that you could call them sponsors because they've been fantastic with us. But they're our new education partners. So as well as Virtual Learning UK offering our BTEC and higher national certificate and diploma qualifications, we now are offering A levels at both Ashcombe and Dunnottar. So starting from September 2022, learners can come to us and either study the BTEC in sports coaching and development, do a range of A levels at either Ashcombe or Dunnottar, so they can do business studies, maths, English. They've got a full range of A levels, 21 A levels that they can pick from, and that's going to obviously set us aside from others and open up our recruitment strategy. And we've already next year on our BTEC program, we're working at the same number already for next year, and then we've got around about 15-20 for both Ashcombe and Dunnottar respectively. So straight away already we're looking at in January having 40 more learners for the next academic year.
Does it cost any money for the students?
So the learners, obviously it's all government funded, the education, so there's no cost for the full-time education. Obviously there's extracurricular stuff that they might want to do, stuff like that, purchase kit, things like that, but in terms of the actual course itself and being able to come on the course is free of charge. There's just prior attainment that they need to get, so to be able to go on both courses they need to have achieved 4 grades or above
from school
to be able to come onto the course. So
wow.
Yeah,
so it's brilliant, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm new to all this. I know I'm very new to all this. So it sounds like Dorking Wanderers are really helping the community.
Yeah. Well, that's the plan, Gav. So when I first came in here, it was, the club was West Dunball, and Mark has spoken about this story, and there's lots out there about it. So I won't go into that, but they were, one man and their dog. The idea is that we become a real community-based club. We're only as good as the fan base we have and the support we have from the community. The club go on record with how much likes of Stonegate, other partners do, and it's no different with the youth section, the academy. All these partners that people see on a match day for the first team, they also support us, and About Roofing support us financially with sponsorship for players' kit, etc. So we've got such a vast range of good people involved in this club that we are now a proper community club. We're impacting people on a full-time basis, on a part-time basis with our youth section. We've done things like coffee mornings, things like that. So we're really giving back to the community, and I think you can see that in our crowds that we're getting now for the first team, the ladies. We're nearly at that 1,000 mark on a regular basis, which was a dream, 5-6 years ago. So it's good.
And last Saturday there were some school children down here from when the players went and saw them. Was that right?
Yeah, that's all part of the initiatives that we're doing. So Steve O'Sullivan, who's obviously on the committee and club photographer and a strong partner of the club, and has been great support for myself over the last 5-6 years. He's obviously really sort of pushed that schools initiative, and Barry Fuller, club captain, and the ladies players, chappers and that, going down there and giving these young people something to aspire to in a sporting context, and also in a professional context. Barry Fuller's played 600 league games and a model professional, and has got qualities that any young person should look to take on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that sounds brilliant. It does, the education side. So let's turn to the football side. So reserves, they're doing well still. They started really well, had a little bit of a blip, didn't they? Yeah. And a few games have been cancelled, but they're still doing well, aren't they?
Yeah. So we've again, it's a product of the environment and a product of the processes over the last 3, 4, 5 years. We've now regularly getting good young players. So we've got players in that team who are now post academy or post under 18s that have been with us for a year or two, who are now really showing their quality and really developing at a good rate. So we came into this knowing that we could be competitive, and with a squad with the average age of 17, we've been probably more than competitive. We've gone to places and to really good clubs who have good budgets for the level that they're at, paying their players, and we've more than competed, and sometimes we've totally outplayed opposition. And we were at Christmas, we were top of the table.
Yep.
So after 17 games, we were top of the table, and at the moment we've hit a bit of bad form, and every team has these situations, and we've had COVID, and but I'm not crying about any of it. If someone would have told me at the start of the year with this average age, the amount of young players that we've now given debuts to in that team, and then the recognition we've got from the first team with how many of them have now played in friendlies and been in the squad, I would have taken that big time. So I'm not concerned. We've got 11 games to go, so we've only got, we've played 22, 11 to go, so a third of the way to go, and I think we'll be there or thereabouts. There is playoffs this year, I believe, so second to fifth. I'd like to think that we'll be in that, and it'll be a great experience for all these young players and myself included, and let's see how far we can go.
They're sitting third at the moment, or fourth?
Yeah, so sitting fourth at the moment. Fourth at the moment. We've got a game in hand on a couple of teams, and it's all a bit, with this time of year, people have had it called off and stuff like that. So we're hoping now that between now and when we finish end of April, 23rd of April, we get a good run of fixtures, and we'll see where we end up.
Yeah, hopefully the playoffs or even win the league.
Yeah. So like Epsom, you got Rothie, you got Midhurst, Seaford are in it. They're all good clubs.
All experienced clubs. And they play with men, don't they? Yeah,
they've got men. Majority of those will have some sort of budget. So for us to even be in the mix, it's great. It's really good, yeah.
And where are they Saturday? The reserve?
So we're at Forest Road Saturday, so down at Oakwood, they ground share at Oakwood, so we're at Forest Road tomorrow.
Oakwood?
Yeah,
Oakwood. That's a nice pitch that is as well.
Yeah, so we played there.
Is that 3G?
Nah, so it's grass, but we played there at the start of the year against Oakwood. And it's nice facility, lovely people down there.
They are nice.
Good, good local club, only 20 minutes, half hour from here. So
if no one can get to Hampton and Richmond Borough and they fancy going over to Crawley, innit?
That's it.
And cheer you guys on.
Yeah. So any support, our crowds have been going up, and equally that's obviously with the success that we've been having. We're averaging probably 80 to 150 in that region every week. So brilliant. When I first did this 3-4 years ago, we were lucky to get someone's parent come down. So so now it's we're starting obviously with success, and we play attractive football, ball on the deck. So we're getting a few people.
How are the lone lads doing? I know there's still a few out. You've got Cameron Black at Leatherhead, Mambrello's at Hawley, Dicko's at South Park, and the goalkeeper Josh is at Hawley, isn't he?
Josh is at Hawley, and then we've got Ollie Allen at Kingstonian.
So how are they all doing?
Yeah, so we've got 5 out on loan, and they're all developing at a good rate. Dixie started off at Merstham. And
got injured, didn't he?
Got injured, had a little bit difficult. Frank was excellent with him. He played a good amount, but that experience for him at that level will be, so invaluable. Further down the line. So he's gone into South Park. Martin Dynan been excellent with supporting Dixie, and he's really kicked on. So he's, I get me and Martin speak quite a lot, and he's doing really, really well for him. So that's great to hear. George doing really well at Hawley. They're sitting in the top 5 in step 5, doing well, and he's a regular. He plays every week.
Is he?
Yeah, he plays as a lone striker, number 9, and doing really well
on his own.
Yeah, on his own. And then obviously Ollie started at Chipstead with Rob. Great relationship we've got there. We had George and Dixie there last year, and he really kicked on there. And then based on his development, myself, Mark, thought that it was best that he probably go to another level. So he's gone to Kingstonian now and has made 3 or 4 substitute appearances.
We saw him on Monday, didn't we?
Yeah, we went and watched him at Carl on Monday, and he came on and didn't look out of place. Looked nervous, but didn't look out of place. But it's all part of his development. And ideally, come the end of the season, Ollie would have played 20 games at step 4. Hopefully 10 to 15 games, whether it be as a substitute or not, at step 3. And and the same with Dicko, same with George. They'll come back ready for pre-season, and it's then down to them to use these experiences to try and get in this side, which is opening. Cam Black is, there's a lot of good things going on around Cam. He's doing really, really well. And
I see him when he first went to Leatherhead, and he really done well there.
Yeah, he's really come on, and obviously
scored goals as well.
Yeah, he's been at Leatherhead. He did a month or just over a month at Leatherhead, then came back during their managerial changes, and then he went to Horsham. We obviously got a good relationship there, and that he got injured, so he came back after a couple of weeks, and now he's back from his injury, and Luke Tufts has gone in at Leatherhead and wanted him back. So we're hoping that now Cam gets a real run of games, and no disrespect to any of the others, but he's really excelled this year, so I'm hoping next year he'll be one of the ones in the squad.
And Josh, the goalkeeper, has he been playing at Hawley or not?
Josh was playing every week at Hawley.
Started?
Yeah, starting. Brilliant. And then he got injured, so he's just on his way back from injury. So he's been down here with the physio team, Kev and Steve, and that. So hopefully he'll be back soon. But but he's doing really well. So
the future's bright for these lads. Even if it isn't here, it would be lovely if they could play here. But if it never, and they moved on, it's good for that. For them, isn't it?
Exactly. And the development tool here is very, unrivaled, and that's not to be disrespectful to any other club, but having a reserve team that are on the non-league pyramid, is really
bonus,
good,
isn't it?
really good for these young players. And then that next step, whether it be step 5, step 4, is they're not too big.
Yep.
And then it's just then how they develop with us, making sure they get the right situation for them. And then obviously, Mark's a hard taskmaster, so you've got to be of a certain calibre to get in this team. And I think all these boys will eventually get to that calibre. But like you said, it might not be here. But if they can have a good grounding and a good development here, then we've done our job.
Definitely. There was a friendly against Leatherhead on Tuesday.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys played there.
Yes, we had 6 in that game.
Yeah,
did
you go watch?
Yeah, no. So we had a cup game down here.
Oh, that's right.
So Mark took 6 of my stronger ones to.
Some started, didn't they?
Yeah, some started. So Colin and Max started. Both been doing excellent for the development team. They've been doing brilliantly. Max is the 3rd top goal scorer at step 6. So in our league, and he's missed a lot of the season as well with injury and stuff like that, but he had an excellent start. He scored 5 in one game against Dorking, so he had a really good start, and he had a difficult middle period, but now he's back firing, so hoping he finishes well. Conan's developed really well. He was part of our under-18s, went to Met Police, now has come back, and he's done really, really well. He's kicked on, and so we had Josh, the goalkeeper, who, in this time that we haven't spoken, he's made his debut for the first team. Played against Welling down here, played 90 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my development team goalkeeper, getting 90 minutes.
Okay, actually.
Yeah, getting 90 minutes, and then Luca made his debut against Chippenham when we lost 4-1. He came on.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's another one this year to make his debut. And then we had Luca, who was on the bench at Southend.
Yes.
And we've had Ben Dyson make his debut in the Surrey Senior Cup.
Yeah.
So there's been more debuts this year than what we've ever had.
Yeah.
So it's another first. We've had 18-year-olds play in the first team, which hasn't happened. In National League games. And that's a big jump for us. In terms of where we're trying to get to.
Definitely. Under-18s, how they been doing? FA Cup Youth?
Yeah, so Youth Cup, we were, and I have no problem with saying this, and I spoke to a number of managers, but as cycles, every sort of youth team and that, you have cycles, and that's no disrespect to the crop we've got now, but we had, for the last 2 years previously, we had, probably 6 or 7 real high quality players. All them players we just spoke about there were all part of those unbelievable FA Youth Cup runs, and they went on to play, Barnet and Colchester, won 7-8 games in that competition. This year we played 2 games, and then the draw wasn't so kind to us, but that's just the way it is. We got Met Police, who are a very good side as well, who got to the second round with us the year before, and they showed their quality and class on the night, and we weren't at the races. So I have no grumbles with how they done. We've got a good crop again. They just need a little bit more development at the right time, but 4 or 5 of them play weekly in my team at the reserve, so we're hoping that development will spearhead them, and hopefully see 1 or 2 more getting a deal next year.
How are they doing in the league? I know it's not all about the league, but
the problem is with that league, if you don't do well in the Youth Cup, you don't have many games.
Oh right.
Yeah, okay. Because they've only got 11 games in that league, 11 teams that league, you end up only playing 20 games. So if you think about that over a 36, 38 week season,
got a lot of weeks off.
Got a lot of weeks off. So, and then with like COVID, and then different teams take priority. So if the first team have got a Tuesday night game, they can't play. So with all that, they've probably only played about 6 games. So we're hoping now with Jake back in charge, Jake Gallagher, with Ben Dyson as his assistant, we're hoping that now they've got a run of games, and we'll start seeing the fruits of the labour over the last few months.
So they'll both the 18s and the under 23s, they all play in the development team as well? Or?
Yeah. So they're not all. So at the right stage of their development, they'll play. So we've got like Elliot Creeley, Ted Reeves, Jack Murray, who are regulars now in the development team, but all play as well in the under 18s still. And then it depends on, it might be good for like Luca, for example, I just mentioned, who's made his debut for the first team. He's still only 17, so if if we feel it's beneficial for him to go and play at his age group, and for want of a better, he'd probably be the best player on the team, hopefully, and that'll give him some confidence, then we'll do that. But equally, we're trying to make sure he gets ready for that next step, because he's one we're looking at probably next year, loan deal. So
they've got 3 opportunities playing a team, really, haven't they?
Brilliant. Yeah, so there's plenty of football. Plenty of football.
That's what I mean. A lot of football, isn't
it? A lot of football, a lot of development processes put in place to make sure it's worthwhile. So
Right, we mustn't forget the women team. They had a good FA Cup, women's FA Cup run, and obviously they went down to Portsmouth. So
me and Mark were at that game. The team that they play, Portsmouth, are 3-4 leagues higher, and they showed real good quality. And the women really put their stamp on the game. They applied themselves to what they were trying to do. But on the day, it just didn't work out for them. But fantastic, again, another first for the club and for that team to get to that level. And obviously, over the last 3 or 4 months, that's probably the team that's blown up the most in terms of from when I and Kat started it 18 months ago to what it is now in terms of the sort of scope of the team. There's a documentary being done on the team. There's obviously now not only investment financially, but investment from outside of Callum, what that brings, and that team's only going one way. So very similar to what the first team men's have done, I reckon you'll see 3-4 years down the line they'll be where Portsmouth were, if not higher, and probably pulling up more trees. So
was it good to play a team like Portsmouth to see where we're at as a women's team?
In the women's game there's a massive disparity, and that's not just in the leagues itself. There's within the league, so even if you look at the top tier, you've got like Leicester who have went up, but they're definitely going straight back down, not won a game. And then you look at the top teams like Chelsea, who are beating teams 5 and 6s. So in terms of quality, there's a big disparity, big gap, big gulf. But that's getting smaller all the time. And with the more investment that you see from the likes of Callum and obviously what the ladies are doing at this level, that's only going to improve players. And I think you'll see in the next 2-3 years that gap really close and it become a lot more competitive at certain level. It won't be so much like, Chelsea are always going to be there. You're going to have Arsenal always going to be there. But you look lower down. So if you think about in the Championship, you've got teams like Lewes, which is the league below that.
I see that.
So that's where we want to get to. We look at Lewes and go, that's a good blueprint.
100%.
Why can't we do that? And that's what we're working towards. And Callum and Kat and Mark being the chairman of the whole club and Callum being the chairman of the ladies, they're working tirelessly on it. The amount of time and effort that I don't even know how they've managed to do it with everything else going on, but the amount of time and effort is going to be incredible in the next few years.
They're having a good season in the league wise. They might be top.
They're top. They're Sutton and Dulwich are their main competitors.
I see that.
So they're yet to play them.
They've got them playing them soon.
But they're yet to play either side yet. So that will be where we'll see where we're at, because I think similar to all the other leagues in the women's game, there's a little bit of a disparity from the top teams and the bottom teams, but that's not disrespect to them. Obviously anyone can beat anyone on their day, but I think the ladies should be competitive enough to go up, hopefully, and
they go up to the next level.
Go up to step 5,
step 5,
London
or something like that.
It depends on obviously what they do geographically, but it'll be step 5, and then who knows? Let's keep going.
Keep progressing.
Keep progressing.
Superb. Well done. Right then, recruitment. What are we looking for? What are you looking for?
So obviously, with all the information we've just given you there on all the designated teams, the education providers now, and you might want to go back through the video and probably have a little listen again if you're unsure. But we've got Talent ID Days coming up. So on the 23rd of January, Sunday, 23rd of January, 5 o'clock, down here, Talent ID Day. Where you'll find out a little bit more about the education with a presentation from myself, and then there'll be a football-based aspect to it as well, where we'll assess them football-wise, and then on the 20th of Feb, and then our recruitment finishes in March. So we're already probably at a point where a lot of people are under offer, and if they all accepted, we're probably near enough at our optimum.
Right.
But obviously we don't expect everyone to. So you know, if you're interested, come down to one of those, because definitely by March we'll be full.
What dates are they again?
So you've got the 23rd of Jan and the 20th of February, and then the March one will be confirmed, but there'll be only one more after that, and then it'll be full steam ahead.
Definitely. Fair enough. Any other up and coming events coming up?
So we've got another coffee morning that will be announced soon, and that's just us as an academy, the learners giving something back to the community, where it'll be in the lounge with the lounge staff, and they'll all bake a cake or bring something in, and you know, it's just a chance to have a chat with them. And for these people who want to come down, fans, people who've got days off, sponsors, you know, for us to give something back for their support. You know, free tea, free coffee, and then we do it for a designated charity, so anyone who wants to put anything in. The last one was for Mind, which is obviously mental health very much in the forefront of people's minds at the moment, but the next one will be on something else, and it's just us as an academy giving something back to the people, and then letting people around us give something back to charity that, you know, over the last couple of years have really suffered.
Oh, brilliant. That sounds great, mate. Well, thanks very much for your time again. Good to catch up with you, mate.
Yeah, really, no worries. We won't leave it so long next time. We'll get it in the diary.
Yeah, we'll put that in the diary, make sure we all turn up. And yeah, it's great talking to you. All the best to everybody, what you do, all the work you do as well. It's brilliant to everyone. And catch up with you soon.
Thanks a lot, Gal. Cheers, mate.
Jordan.